Yeah, and it looks like we're now underway. Let's see what the Sanctuary has first.
20 rupees. This appears to be a Houlihan opening.
We have a quick map check, and it looks like we have Crystal and Eastern, Crystal and Desert, and I'm not sure about Tower. It went by so fast.
Vanilla Tower of Hera, red pendant.
I see.
So we have GFE going for the Houlihan, Blaine and Tankir going for the Kakariko opening, albeit on two different routes. And we got a tree pull. Level 1 tree pull is just couch cat. No, pocket change, excuse me. Gonna move right along.
Yeah, I like this Houlihan play for GFE early on, because you don't know how good money's going to be, especially when it's open mode.
Well, I'm not quite sure what was at Lumberjacks, though, as we got a sword already for Blaine. Who's not picking up the piece of heart.
I'm not sure about that, because you never know if health is going to be at a premium.
Yeah, for sure. I wouldn't be skipping health early, but that's just me. GFE, it's uncle. Let's see what this is.
Let's hope it's something good. Oh, a little more love. It'll be interesting to see if either Blaine or GFE go for escape. The front end, anyway.
Blaine might, he has a sword. GFE doesn't, so he ain't going for it.
And over on Raylan's side, we see that he's in Blind's house. Ooh, we have some validation with a single arrow. And we find a heart container. Some bombs, which is handy, because he didn't have any.
I wasn't sure if he was taking a gamble on bombs being there, or if he was on autopilot, because I know I've done that before for these checks. Ooh, and there's the ice rod already.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on GFE's side, looked like he took a quick check on the maze game. Not sure if it was what it was, but if he isn't going back, it must not have been worth it. And I see Flip in the library.
Finger webs in the library. That means the probability is high that the boots are gonna be required.
Magic powder in the back of the tavern, and more bombs for Raylan. Very nice.
Always nice, especially when you don't have enough to buy them.
And a flute! Wow! This has been a very loaded village so far.
As well, oh, here's a kick in the teeth. Tank here is 2 rupees short of bottle vendor, so he's jumping back in the well to rectify that.
That's not a bad strategy, actually. I approve of it. Though I think those pots on the right from the well, though, as you enter from the normal way, have green rupees.
Yeah, that would have been faster, and those bombs are overpriced. But we got a flute activation as we find out what's in Zelda's cell.
Wow. We got the hammer. Jeez. A lot of early things early on. I word right.
Yep, we've got a hammer for Korek, who's taking a death warp. Wayne opted to save and quit.
Ooh, chicken toss for Raylan there. Let's see what it blessed him with. Just more money.
Well, it also blessed Simon the Castlevania games with meeting the wall.
With Raylan and now GFE with Flute, it'll make the South Shore checks up 3.
Draining the water, 300 rupees. That is a nice price.
Yeah, because we're gonna need it later for Zora, possibly. And meanwhile, Dwayne making the play for the desert to check that cave.
Is that a dark cross I'm seeing? GFE gets his ice rod. Just a piece of heart at the race.
I figured it couldn't be anything good if whoever went for it didn't come back.
Korek's gone to the back of Escape, and that's just 1 rupee, a map, and 10 arrows. So, good idea to break sequence there. It just did not pan out.
Let's see what the mini Moldorm Cave has for us.
Good thing he's got sword, because 2-bomb mini Moldorm Cave, highly unlikely. I think I've only seen a triple kill with a bomb 1 time, and that was
Red Rupee,
a while
a
ago.
second
There's the Master Sword.
Heart Container, Blue Rupee, and more bombs. Not a bad idea considering he was low on bombs there. Alright, let's see if we get a better look at what was in the Lumberjack Cave on GFE's side. It is... I think it was just arrows, so I don't think...
Yeah.
No chance... Probably not a good chance we see Aghanim this time, unless we have trouble finding the mirror.
Or if it's a seed where the moon pearls on the pyramid or behind a progression item on the pyramid, because that is 100% Aghanim required.
That's true too. Meanwhile, on the desert ledge, we see that there was another rupee hoard. I'm not sure if it was a 300 or a 100, but it was money to some amount.
Speaking of the mirror, it's in the Ice Rod Cave. Wayne got it.
Jeez. I just thought you were joking with how speedy this seed was gonna go.
Well, the real question I have right now is, what's the catch?
Well, I think the obvious choice is to go with the bow. Looking like GFE's... Looking like... Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, GFE's for the castle, Tank here with the mirror. And we are going to definitely need those flippers now, because we've got a Cane of Samaria sighting on the Lake Hylia Island, and a green pendant at Turtle Rock. Ooh, I'm not sure I like that one, because a large portion of the time you get a green pendant at Turtle Rock, there might be something required inside.
I don't know. The last time I called a race, it was green pendant Turtle Rock, and it was completely not required.
That's also possible, too. That's rando.
Looking like on Raylan's side, he's doing the old man escort.
And he just poked out a bat.
Let's see what this sequence break awards him with. Well...
A dead rock in the way.
Dead rock? More like dead block! I'll see myself to the door.
After watching videos where Chugga Conroy has dropped so many puns over the years, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
Yeah, good.
But thankfully for Tankier, he did not get killed coming out of that cutscene, which I have seen happen before.
Ooh, some pretty smart strats on GFE's side, using the ice rod to freeze the soldier.
Indeed.
Looked like Raylan wanted to check the item, but decided, hey, I'm gonna go for the hint anyway.
Magic Bat's got the Moon Pearl. So our runners will need the hammer out of Zelda's cell, plus the powder, to get Dark World access.
Looking like Dwayne's finally taking care of his village sweep.
And a good thing, too, because powder at the back of the bar, hammer in the castle. Now the question is, where's the glove? I'm thinking it's somewhere on Death Mountain. Hair is looking pretty good, right?
I'm not sure I want to take a guess right now.
Speaking of guesses, somebody I know picked up Golden Gauntlets in a Zooter He said, no, it's not at that. Long shot's not at that ferry. He basically set himself up for that. But the moment he said it, he should have gone right to it, because Long Shot was indeed at that fair.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've played that, but enough about Ocarina of Rando. We're here to talk about Link to the Past, aren't we?
True that, but sometimes you can make a guess and be right, or sometimes you can say where something isn't and be totally wrong. With Tankier in the castle, this will get him his hammer, as GFE is now on the South Shore. This will get him his mirror, which will allow him Hera access, plus East Death Mountain. That's a lot of checks.
Yeah.
The other location we have not seen, we haven't seen Easter. We've seen Sahasrala's hut, but not Easter.
Yeah, that is true. Maybe they're just hoping to see the... wait until they have the bow, because they have the hammer right now. It would make not much sense to do it without the bow. You know, just in case Palace of Darkness ends up being a crystal.
And Tankier's gonna play the mirror strats, and he's heading for Dark Cross.
Chad brings up a good point too, that Eastern Palace only has 2 to 3 items in possible access. Technically 2 right now, because we have no lantern. Well, actually, let me think that over again. Let's see.
Depending
on early key.
Yeah, an early key plus 3 items involved. And you could still technically get 3 out of there, but it's literally a crapshoot. We got Blaine setting up for a bomb jump. This is a tricky one because it's a 2-pixel window to get across, and he got it.
Yeah, that's probably one of the toughest bomb jumps I've ever seen.
And to go along with a point in chat, yeah, you will not see Dark Rooms forced in logic.
Unless you set it to that.
And we've got a Hera play.
Oh boy, let's see what we got downstairs. Well, nothing yet.
Yeah, just a compass, no thank you. Now, if this isn't the big key, then you're locked out of the dungeon due to needing a fire source. And one of our males is in purple chest.
That's interesting. And we're locked out because we found the small key. And I
5-6 and Swamp and Meyer with Blue Pendant Skullwoods.
Pendant Skull Woods is probably not something you want to see. And we have the sequence break on GFE's side going to the bridge. Containing a heart piece.
And he's doing the reverse fake flipper out. Which you have to be careful on positioning, because if you jump over the screen transition, you soft lock.
I haven't been able to do that one, though, yet. Meanwhile, we see Raylan's gonna do the Eastern play.
Hookshot Cave's a heart container at its end. Now we get Paradox Cave. This has got to have something good, I would think.
Meanwhile, in the same spot but different, slightly to the left, we have Raylan in the Spiral Cave, doing the long walk of shame.
Yep, doing a very long, slow walk, which might as well be an auto-scroller for some other video game.
Meanwhile, on GFE's side, we're gonna be getting a look at Zora.
We got a glove.
The Zora ledge has only got a heart container though, so.
We got a glove and a bottle on Blaine's side, so that's Dark World access as well as a sick kid check.
Let's see what our ripoff from Zora today is. We got a ripoff.
Yep. A definite ripoff for sure. Tankier also in Paradox Cave. He'll have his Dark World access shortly. Well, he's got to get the Moon Pearl first, though. Got a hype cave. But is it a hype cave, or is it a cave that's lost its former glory?
I don't know. I like to call this the Cave of Wonders, because I wonder if it's actually gonna pay out. Let's see.
Well, it had half magic, so it can't be all that bad. I mean, we are gonna need the fire rod at some point, so as far as I'm concerned, not great, but not terrible.
Hey, anytime you can go to Cave of Wonders and get a safety, I'd call that pretty okay.
And some health too, so not the worst. I've seen worse. I mean, I've seen better, but I've also seen worse by that same point. Hey, Stumpy got a sword upgrade, so Dwayne's up to tempered.
Wow, very nice.
Oh, Dwayne pulling all the right plays right now as he gets the bow out of K45. Is this a jet seat?
I really hope not. At this point, the boots is going to be the thing that holds everyone up. And now we got the sick kid check. I hear you like side quests.
And it's a shovel. What does Sick Kid have buried this time around?
Speaking of shovels, looks like the digging game didn't have too much of value.
Nah, 20 rupees after only 9 digs. At least it was quick. GFE's an error, but he's not going to be here long. This tank here is going for the Hype Cave play. And Dwayne is heading for the big key chest in Skull Woods. Not taking any chances with this location.
And with tempered sword but no fire rod, it should pose no threat to those Gibdos.
Just a small key. Okay. Oh my! Titans Mitts in Skull Woods in the Bat Prison.
Wow.
And the other item is a bottle, and it's already filled with a blue potion.
My goodness.
That's a loaded Skull Woods, and you don't even need the fire rod. Question is, how long will it be for our other runners to get there as Tank here gets the bow?
That's a good question. Meanwhile, Blaine headed up to the bumper cave, and it doesn't look like there was anything useful there. Might have been bomb. Looking like Wayne's making his next stop towards the graveyard ledge.
And the reward was couch cash behind the shovel. Moving on.
I got an important question. Who do you think, since we now have the bow and hammer... Actually, never mind. It doesn't make sense now to ask it because no one has the lamp.
Even so, that probably won't matter, as a number of our runners in the community know how to do the pod darkroom, so we could see a play for that regardless.
Yeah, but seeing as if I was running the seed, I probably wouldn't go for it until I had lamp, just because I trust myself with the eastern dark rooms, but not so much the pod dark room.
I am not sure why Tankier is still digging, even though he's unearthed the 20 rupee prize.
Maybe he just wanted the extra money?
Well, it's certainly possible. Okay, that's pretty smart to check the race game right out of there. And it's quick to get into Mire, and Blaine hitting Mire's shed.
We have a heart piece and arrows on Boyne's side.
As GFE gets his bow, we've got some interesting diversions. Blaine in the desert, and 2 runners in the pod area. What's gonna pan out first?
Meanwhile, Korek's straight up in pod. Oh, chat bringing up another good point, that Dwayne has a good advantage over all the other runners because he's the only one with Titan mitts.
This is good routing by Tank here to use Mirror to get around to going to Sahasrala on this point when heading to pod, as opposed to making a couple different trips. What's the hint?
A Glovis and Skull would, you say?
You say that a little too late, game. Unless somehow there's another way of accessing desert, that hint is probably going to be useless.
A unique item is in plain sight, you say? Well, that could be anything.
I think we already know what that is.
Vanilla Big Key and Desert on Blaine's side. Who forgot to shuffle this seed?
Don't look at me, I had nothing to do with rolling it. Probably a good thing. Wait a minute, there was a lamp picked up in pod.
Oh, wow. That means Korek's lucked out then.
Yeah, anytime you get a lamp in a dungeon that has dark rooms, be it pod, be it fire, be it Turtle Rock, yeah, you lucked out. Chat bringing up a good point. That's our first fire source, so now we can finish Hera. But might not go there until later. This could be, or if at all.
There's the big key on Korek's side for Palace of Darkness. So Raylan and GFE are going to be rewarded as well for going on this gamble as they're both in Palace of Darkness as well. Meanwhile, Blaine's over in
It's a village of outcasts, and he's starting with a bombable hut.
If I had to guess, his next stop could be eventually getting his way to Thieves Town. Hey, we got our first shield inside the big chest on Korek's side over in Palace of Darkness.
Need some defense at some point. And Hammerpex was just a piece of heart.
Let's see what the swordsmith has for the turn in there. We're about to find out because Dwayne's doing it for us.
Fire Rod, they're making some hot weapons tonight.
I'm not sure that's the one thing you want to see right now, because I would start to get a little concerned if we see either ice, if we see ether next.
Wayne's wasting no time turning a purple chest, which we know by way of a hint is a mail upgrade, and in this case, it's blue mail for Wayne.
Oh right, I forget. Yeah, I think I might have gotten my medallions mixed up. I think we already know what Meyer is, but we haven't been to Turtle Rock yet, so we don't know about that.
All right, with our first crack at Helmasaur King, and that is not the RNG pattern you want to see. You want to hope he just stands there, swings his tail, not shoot fireballs. Unfortunately, Helmasaur King not playing nice today, and he's going to pay for it.
Yeah, I hate it when Helmasaur King decides, hey, let's throw all the fireballs and just annoy you to here to eternity.
We've got a bug net on the boss.
Well, that'll be nice if things get a bit too hairy later on. Meanwhile, Blaine's over taking on Lamulus over on Desert Palace.
And that's a very nice one cycle. But
hey, look,
as nice as that was, as nice as that kill was, the reward was super anticlimactic.
Meanwhile, on Korek's side, he's doing the second half of the twin killing by taking on Eastern.
I like this strategy here. You take 2 dungeons out in one swoop.
Meanwhile, kind of looks like that'll be Dwayne's next play.
He'll be rewarded with the lamp, as well as knock out not 1, but 2 crystal dungeons back to back. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, but with everyone else having the lamp among our featured runners, he'll probably be looking at it and saying, I could have had this sooner. He'll be angry at the seed, but he'll be going, I really should have had this sooner.
Only question I have now is, who's going to be the one to go to Spike Cave first? Because that could have something at this point. I mean, Cape's not in logic, but with full bottles of potion, we can still get there anyway.
let's see how Raylan handles his Helmasaur King fight.
Slightly different strat from Korek, holding the sword out to keep his facing. Both are valid options in terms of strats. Yep, and now into phase 2 as GFE starts his fight against Helmasaur King. And I don't think he's going to be nice to our runners today in terms of RNG, because all three have gotten fireballs.
I would think that patterns like this are always going to be constant, like how you always get the same patterns from Aghanim when you do that fight, and Ganon as well, just to keep it fair.
Yeah, I'd be led to believe that as well.
Yeah, even chat's agreeing with me a little.
Yeah, that definitely seems right. And everybody's on the same page here, doing Pod Eastern back to back. Now, seeing where Blaine got the lamp, we can confirm that the lamp was bow locked, so you had to go to Cave 45 or do a certain sequence break to get to the lamp, as Korek is taking on the Armos Knights and taking them out very skillfully and quickly. There's the Quake Medallion, and I believe when Blaine gets that, he'll have access to Misery Mine.
If that's the case, he could go in, but he couldn't clear it because we still don't have the red cane.
Which is, we know, is behind the flippers, which is behind the boots. This seat could be a mandatory buy or double dip, just thinking about it. And there's one other place we have not seen the inside of. Nobody has gone into Thieves Town yet.
Oh, that is
Although
very
Korek
true.
could change that. Mitzvah and Skullwood's Pop Prison Chest. Yep, a throwback to up to version 28, where it seemed like it was 50-50 as to whether Skullwoods had anything of value.
Meanwhile, looking like Korek's gonna have the opportunity to get their Titan mitts.
Korek heading on the same routing that Blaine went on.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Chad that no one making the play for Thieves is very curious.
Yeah, it's got me curious as well. Because I know typically I would have gone into Thieves Town by this time myself, but that's just me. I mean, not to say that this routing hasn't worked out, because it has revealed some awesome stuff. I just feel like Thieves Town's got one thing that could break this seed wide open.
Obvious answer would be the boots, but that'd be too easy for them to get.
The other thing that I'm thinking is Hookshot, which would open Swamp Palace, as well as Hookshot Cave, so that'd be a tough 50-50.
Or oh wait, I don't know why I'm thinking of a different medallion that wouldn't be whatever's needed to open up Turtle Rock, because that's Green Pendant.
And now, that is Lord Banana at the Magic Mirrors, Magic Kid Cave, Bumper Cave. Not going to be going in for that. As we've got GFE and shortly Raylan picking up the point.
I thought we were playing Link to the Past, not Zelda 1.
I'm not the one who first brought that nickname into Zelda 3, so that ain't on me.
Fair enough. Meanwhile, Raylan, taking care of the Armos Knights, had a little bit of trouble with the last one, but takes care of it handily.
Solid hammer strats from Dwayne there. That's pretty cool.
And all told, it's looking pretty even. All 4 of our featured runners have 2 crystals. Granted, Blaine's second crystal is from Desert and not Eastern, but he'll get his 3rd soon.
And that 3rd one's going to pay off big with what we know.
Ooh, we have a pyramid check over here on Raylan's side.
Yeah, here's one we have not seen yet.
Let's see what's on the pyramid ledge. We have
a hook shot.
Boing boing.
That one might have hit our runners from some time.
Well, thankfully it didn't evade Raylan. And it looks like he's making his way to not only take care of the catfish, but all in the Lake of El-Omen, but also maybe visit Zora and be ripped off.
Yeah, Zora is, Missy, definitely a scam. No doubt about that. Cobra gets his fire rod. GFE getting ripped off on the chess game.
Yeah, that's right, Raylan. You don't have the gold gloves yet. You can't exactly pick that one up. I mean, A for effort. Let's see. What does the catfish have for us here?
50
Money.
rupees, and Tankier's not interested. The bribe was too low.
Oh, Raylan's fluting out. That'll isolate Zora and Waterfall. Maybe his thought is, well, I'd rather do all of that in one go, and rather than just going for catfish. That kind of makes no sense to me.
Well, knowing what he knows about this seed, he's basically one item away from finding the one item that's go mode, and he's probably gambling that boots aren't at Zora, which in this case we know is the correct gamble. But the fact that he's making that gamble is quite interesting.
Meanwhile, we see Corex and GFE are both now in Thieves Town. Big Key was in the first chest. Compass is in the 3rd.
Ether in the ambush. So you could say we got ambushed by Ether.
I guess you could say that. And what's in that 4th one? we see that it is
5
nothing.
rupees. Might as well have been nothing.
Let's see if GFE gets the God Pixel. Oh wait, it doesn't. That doesn't really matter because we still don't have boots.
Yeah, and without boots, you have to do a lot of dodging in Hellway. And he is not wasting time and going for the hint to see what that is. And that's old news game.
Yeah, thanks for giving us that hint. It was really helpful.
Yeah, the hint's about 20 minutes too late.
Meanwhile, looks like Raylan has got their gold gloves if they manage to be going out of Skullwoods. I did see them pick up a bottle.
Yeah, I'm led to believe that too. A menu can also confirm that. While the 20 rupee prize is a disappointment for Tankir, they did find a rupee stash of 100 rupees, so that sweetens the deal a little bit, and Titan mitts are confirmed. And GFE is up to shield level 2, so now fireballs are not a problem.
Until someone eats that shield.
Yep, there are enemies similar to how like-likes behave around the overworld that can eat shields, so you definitely don't want that to happen. Oh, okay, that's my first time seeing that pun. That is a very good shout-out to Danganronpa with a nice mix of some punny humor, and I like it.
What did it read? I only got a brief snippet of it. I just saw that it had despair at the end.
Ganon is a bacon of despair.
Dongle Roomba. Sorry, that's just the portmanteau I've come
Well done.
for that.
Well done, I approve of that one.
I need to play those games. Meanwhile, GFE clears out Thieves Town. And Korek's done too. Dwayne is about to enter the... looks like... no... ooh. No.
Tankir started, Dwayne is a bit further along, and one forewarning about Danganronpa, it is a trip and then some.
I have heard.
Or as some people call it, dang it, Grandpa! Couldn't resist. Anyway, we've got GFE making the trip into Skull Woods. This will yield him the mitts, as well as a bottle. And Korek's going to be making the play into Mire Shed, which will enable him to also get into Mire.
Yeah, it'll be curious to see if this pays off.
Chat brings up a point. Korek can't get in without boots or hookshot. We know where one is, but not the other, and it's the other that's going to really bottleneck this seed, I feel.
Depending on what Raylan does next, we may finally seed Meyer, though.
The other possibility is Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave. He might just swing through those as well as Spike Cave, which would be 7 checks in less time than it would take to check Swamp Palace. That would be my argument for doing that. My argument against doing that would be that Swamp Palace is a 5-6 crystal. However, I don't think that's going to factor in much in this seed, is because by the time we have Swamp Palace, access will be go mode.
Meanwhile, Korek looking like he's making his way through desert. Cleared out the front end, about to take care of Lamolifts now. You know what? It's kind of surprising that we have this many items, and we're only 50 minutes in. I was expecting us to maybe have slightly a bit less this far in.
With Hair Not Done, it makes Super Bunny Cave that much more lucrative, in my opinion.
Not to mention, depending on what the medallion is for Turtle Rock, you got that hint too. Blind is down on Raylan's side.
Yep. No more blind, we all can see. Whew, that one cycle by Korek looked so good.
Don't blink or you'll miss it. I am silently judging you all. Let that be known. With the way Dwayne's going, it looks like he's going to make his way to get his hook shot.
Quick shout out about that link that the Speed Gaming bot just put in chat is that there is a Nintendo 64 marathon coming up from July 11th through the 14th with an online marathon that's going to be on Speed Gaming Main, and the submission deadline is June 16th. So there you go. And Feasel would be the one to ask for any questions.
And if you just want to be informed on all of the happenings of what's going on Speed Gaming, I implore you to follow all of the Speed Gaming channels, and also check out speedgaming.org for any detail.
Wayne has picked up his hook shot, and he's making the Death Mountain play.
I like this. Good item density, and not to mention, depending on what the hint is, we could see, depending on what the medallion is, we'll see the Turtle Rock hint at least.
Yep, that is certainly in play. It would be about the only thing that could be done in Turtle Rock at this time. But at the same time, we could also get the flippers out of any of the other Death Mountain locations that we can access.
Yeah, at this point, I think we're all hoping to see the boots hint. Ooh.
That would be the best hint to see right about now.
Dwayne beautifully getting that block clip with the hook shot there. That one's pretty tricky.
Yeah, it certainly is, and even the best of runners miss that one from time to time.
No dice in the Super Bunny cave.
And it looks like Tankier's taking the purple chest on a world tour, which is, well, this isn't bingo, so that's not one of the markings this time. GFE opting for ice rod strats here. Has not done the check to get the, well, hasn't done the blacksmith check. What are words? Oh, now we got all 3 medallions.
So I guess we could be checking the hint in Turtle Rock regardless.
Blaine's not interested. He's going right for Hera and probably Spike Cave after that.
That would make a lot of sense.
Masterful dodging of those Lionel beams.
Yeah, Lionels can be pretty tricky if you let them be.
And what is... Wait a minute. We got Blaine arriving in Meyer area. This is an interesting play.
Maybe he's gambling.
Not quite sure.
Maybe he's gambling on Red Cane inside Meyer.
Or is it Boots he's gambling on? If Boots are here, then that's a Meyer double dip mandatory.
Kane is always in Meyer, you say? Well, of course. How can I forget that?
Go Rex on Death Mountain now, so we'll see how he routes this out. If he opts to go into Hera to see if there's anything, because there's still one more hint and 2 items at large in that dungeon. And I wouldn't put it past this logic to put the boots in Hera.
Oh, chat bringing up a very critical point. What? Dwayne checked the Lake Island, and he knows that the Red Cane's there, and yet he's in Meyer anyway.
He's got to be gambling on Boots being here. Because that's literally the bottleneck that's holding this seed back.
Wow!
Down Wayne! I'm gonna call that a go mode at 58 flat because he knows where he's gotta go.
My goodness. Nice going. We just shattered this seed's bottlenecking by a wide margin.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And here goes Dwayne going directly for the flippers. From here, he is probably going directly for the King of Samaria, and that'll be go mode for sure.
And best of all, because of what he has, he'll be able to basically go mode everything, including swamp and ice.
Doesn't get much sweeter than that. Go moding both of those. You're saving a good 8 minutes at the minimum versus cleaning out both dungeons.
And Pendant Turtle Rock, too. He doesn't have to do that either.
Yep, this was a case of the joke of get Ice Rod early, Turtle Rock not being needed being a thing. Because it figures when you have to go into Turtle Rock, the Ice Rod isn't until stupid late.
Yeah, this has a good chance of being, like, I'd say a sub 130 seed. Maybe some sub 120 if Dwayne really jets.
Well, he's jetting all right. He's jetting right for Swamp Palace first. Before picking up the cane, I don't blame him whatsoever, because you can do this first, then get the Cane of Samaria, then go into ice, which totally makes sense.
Yeah, it basically saves him some transitions. Meanwhile, GFE looking like he's gonna check the hint in Turtle Rock.
Korek's doing hair. Lame hit.
And it looks like Korek's also up in Tower of Hera. And since we're past the 1 hour mark, I just want to remind you that you are watching the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past Daily Race Series here on Speed Gaming 4. My name's the Crazy Dude. Joining me is Leslie Pro 04. And doing the tracking for us today is Red Aramer and Vooch. So, and if you like any of what you've seen so far, please give our featured runners a follow. Dwayne just breezing along through a swamp.
And at Tempered Sword, the Argus fight is pretty simple.
Well, with Fire Rod, it's pretty simple as well.
And GFE's taking a bit of a coffee break.
Looking like Korek's going to be getting his boots very soon. Dwayne now on to phase 2 of Argus. And it's done. Wait, do it again, I missed it. Looking like Raylan's gonna take care of some checks here on Eastern Dark Death Mountain. Maybe also finish off Tower if he wants to.
Korek's got the boots. And now he realizes that he just needs to get 2 items and he knows where they are.
There's number 1.
And Dwayne with the can of Samaria has truly entered go mode at 103.29. And he's going to shoot through Ice Palace real fast. Yeah, this is pacing sub 130 easy.
Gets through the first room, no problem. Gets the key from the second room during that first little bit. That's always so satisfying to do. Just finish off those blue barries with the hook shot. Love it.
Oh, for sure. Especially considering the amount of times anyone who's played this game will probably tell you the amount of times they've swung their sword basically at the same time the Bari decides it's going to electrify. Will know exactly how satisfying that is.
Yeah, that's why I try to finish them with hook shot whenever I can.
GFE opts to take Trolldorm down.
Looking like he's going to be checking Spike Cave next. Looked like Dwayne didn't have any problems with the double Stalfos room. And looks like we're going to get an Ice Palace bomb jump. Let's see if he gets it first try. Well,
Miss. This would definitely be the time to do it, for sure, in go mode.
He's having trouble setting it up, though. Looks like he might have it this time, though.
Ooh, GFE taking a death but has a fairy.
Korek curiously doing the lumberjack check at 65 minutes in. My goodness.
Well, chat could be right. Korek could have missed it, although if Korek swings by the island now, he'll get the news that he needs to be by here with Dark World access. Yep, Korek now knows.
Oh dear. I appreciate. Well, it looks like he's gonna go into ice anyway. Meanwhile, Dwayne's already at the bottom, ready to take on Cold Stare. Doesn't get the quick kill and has them scatter from that upper right-hand corner. But no problem regardless.
Just a compass, but more importantly, that's the 6th crystal. He just has to go back in the mire to finish it off, and he'll be on his way to Ganon's Tower.
Almost that time again, huh?
Just about.
Let's see how well Korek handles the double Staphos room. He gets it flawlessly. Very nice. That's always satisfying to do.
Unfortunately, Tank here fell off floor 3 and uses Mirror to get back to the end.
Okay, let's see if Korek can get the Ice Palace Bomb jump first try. Looks like he's got the setup. I think that's off. Oh, he
got it. I was more concerned about the fire bar giving him a Matumbo.
Oh, I saw that too. That was very troubling.
Looked like Korek was going for that quick transition, however, bailed out of it last second because you can't put yourself into spikes doing that.
Korek just about ready to take on Cold Stare. Meanwhile, Blaine is on his way through the dark rooms of Mire. Let's see what Raylan does next.
Looks like Boyan was trying to set up the spooky action glitch, but missed it.
Meanwhile, Korek takes down Cold Stare, and they're pretty close to taking things done. And now we have Wayne in with Vitreous. This should be fast.
Oh, absolutely. Especially with the zero cycle that you can do with just the Tempered Sword. I have to learn that one myself.
And just like that, it's gone. So, I think it's about time we play a game, shall we?
I could not agree more. It's time to get the big key guesses in.
I don't... This is just a daily race. We don't need the bot. Regardless, there's 22 chests in the basement of Ganon's tower. Where do you think it is?
Well, I said 12 on a race of shades, and, well, I've sort of been shoehorned into that one, so 12.
I like picking locations rather than numbers, so I was once spot on with tile room, so I'm gonna say tile room again.
I don't think Dwayne wants to see that.
He may not, but I want to, because this race hasn't trolled enough. We need one last bump along the road.
The troll's probably silver arrows on the pedestal at this point, but knowing how good our runners are at silverless Ganon, that's probably not an issue. Tank here's got the boots.
And Dwayne is cleared to the teleporter at Turtle Rock, and he's on his way to Ganon.
And there's the flippers for Tank here. Dwayne is now in Ganon's tower.
Yeah, just under the 1 hour, 12-minute mark.
He's going full left.
Wow, and he's welcomed with a key on the torch. No dice so far. There's the mirror.
Yep, this is looking to be a full-on Dark Magician, potentially.
Very beautifully done there on that particular torch room.
That torch room is not fun for first-time players of this game.
Well, any torch room where you have to deal with a wall master is not fun. We have our riot shield. Some more bombs. No
and
dice so
some
far.
more bombs.
Meanwhile, we see Korek done with Swamp, and he'll be on his way to Myers.
The door it is. Tank here picked it out of Swamp's first chest.
Very interesting.
Fire Snake room would be 12. Nope, 20 rupees.
Meanwhile, Korek finally has his red cane. He's in go mode. Very nicely done with the boomerang there on Dwayne's side. Let's see if it's over here.
Small key.
Next up is the bomb wall room.
AKA random room, and it looks like Dwayne is dumping the... I don't know why he's dumping bombs now. He's still gonna need some for later.
Maybe it's because he knows he's gonna get bombs from the next chest. See?
Well, that one, I'm gonna
Okay.
borrow a phrase from someone I know who's got to run at SGDQ and say, the game knows.
Hey, I happen to know that guy too.
Actually, now that I think about it, this looks to be an intentional cut to 2 bombs so that you get up to the top, you can just run out of bombs and switch over to powder. It's an NMG strategy.
Gotcha. Regardless, all that's left are this chest, the center chest after Ice Armos, and then Tile Room. It's not in Bob's. Wow,
Nicely
struggled
done
a little,
on the
but
Ice
still got the quick
Armor.
kill.
Vanilla Big Tea!
Oh!
All I'm gonna
Wait.
say about that is, I know it's not his randomizer, but Fred!
That's a bit unfair to the guy, you know?
Because you gotta ask, is that even supposed to have been randomized? Or did somebody forget to randomize it? I don't know.
Oh, evidently, Raylan also found the silver arrows.
Oh, those were in Swamp. That's dirty game.
That's not a problem, though. We'll still probably get a sub 130 time from Blaine, even with silverless strats.
Here comes Korek into Death Mountain.
GFE also about to enter Go mode, and I think also, along with Raylan as well. So all 4 of our runners will have gotten.
Hold it. Not so fast. Raylan's going back for the big chest.
Oh, does he not know?
He might not have gone that way.
Oh, that's a problem then. Well, regardless, GFE's now on his way into ice. Meanwhile, Blaine now at Lamellus 2.
Got a trolley pattern that's going to take out the 1 cycle, but an impressive 2 cycle nevertheless.
Yes, very much so. Let's see how he handles these whiz rope rooms. The first one's the easy one. The second one is the one that can be tricky. Beautiful!
That's very well done. Sometimes in that room, I get goaltended by the spike slider.
I wimp out and just use a medallion if I have one. Gotta be careful here. Do not want to do bad things. He did not. Skipping over those 2 chests, I really can't blame him.
Yep, he doesn't need anything there. Oh,
Wow, he opted to check that one. Was he maybe hoping for silvers at this particular junction?
or a sword, but unfortunately, Moldorm just swats him off like a silly fly. Second try is the charm. And there's a rupee stash.
Yeah, that's rather curious that he would opt to check those two, but not the two in the Helmasaur room. Well, regardless, he's made it to the top. And here we go. We have Aghanim 2.
Ooh, just missed the triple by that much.
Gets another double, though.
Wouldn't have mattered for a double triple because he got blue ball. That's a very nice 3 cycle.
Yeah. And I'd say we're almost ready for some bacon-covered nachos. Are you ready for some bacon-covered nachos? Because I'm ready.
The thought of that does make my arteries clog, but bacon alongside breakfast sounds pretty good to me.
Let's see what sort of salad thought we get from Ganon this time. What do you got to say? Oh, he's gonna do a good thing and just show off his power once he rules the world. I don't know how that really is good or not, but... And Ganon deciding to be trolly and just teleport all over the place. More teleports. Yeah, only one teleport there.
None there. Here we go. It takes 12 spins. Well, that's not going to count, unfortunately. But more importantly, he gets the torch flip.
Very nice. And he's 11 hits away now from winning, from making it through to this race. Have not seen any .duns in the SRL channel yet, though. Curious to see whether or not Wayne is our first finisher.
We will we'll probably announce that as the race goes final. Because this could be... Who knows?
Of course,
we shall...
Of course, these 4 runners aren't our only runners running this race. There are a good, 20 others that are doing this, and it looks like he's got it.
Yep, Wayne has done the job. We got bacon. Get your GGs in the chat for Wayne, as he's about to be the first of our 4 featured runners to cross the finish line. And he's not only the first of our 4 featured runners to finish, he finishes first overall, and we get the Meowmix song from the Triforce. Official SRL time, 1 hour, 23 minutes, 15 seconds.
GG for the guy. That was pretty awesome. Meanwhile, we have Korek making his climb up the gauntlet now. Meanwhile, we'll see about getting a interview from Blaine here in a hot sec.
GFE also got the silvers out of Swamp, so with that, it's a more randomizer traditional 1 cycle against Vitreous. With that, we are joined by Blaine. GG, that was a well-played seed.
Hey, thank you. Think so. Hey, how you guys doing?
Pretty good tonight.
I guess you liked it.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I hit go mode, it seemed like I lost the ability to play. That Argus fight, Ice Palace bomb jump, Cold Stare fight, GT. We didn't fell to Moldorm too, so there were some mishaps after go mode. So luckily, go mode was super fast.
Yeah. Wow. It seems like you just pushed all the right buttons on where to go.
I got really worried putting off thieves for so long, and when I didn't find boots anywhere else, I got worried that boots were just in thieves, and I kind of, outthought myself on that one. So I was pretty happy to find thieves empty, and there really were kind of running out of spots to the left where, because you knew the boots were going to lead right to the flippers already, and you knew the flippers were going to lead right to the cane. So once the medallions started piling up, I'm like, okay, it's just boots for go mode. Where are the boots going to be? I left the dark escape chest when I did escape, and I kind of really regretted it. So I was thinking, what's the earliest that I can route back over in that direction? I'm going to take it, which is why I ended up going to Pyramid, because I was going to do Pyramid and then Mirror and do that dark escape chest in case those were the boots. But when I found Hookshot there, it was kind of, all right, Hookshot opens a lot. Let's go do Dark Death Mountain. Maybe we'll do Hera. And on the way to Hera, I was deciding, do I do Hera or do I dive into Mire? And I think I walked all the way over to Hera before I mirrored and fluted to Mire. But
yeah, I remember seeing that. Like, you did all of those Death Mountain checks, went up to the base of Hera and said, wait a minute, why?
Yeah, when I got outside and I was about to go into Hera, I said, I've already been here and I know it's basement required. Let's just dive Mire. It's not so bad. We'd have to find the big key anyway. Of course, the big key was in the first chest in Mire, which made me feel bad because I was like, well, if it's in Hera, I just blew a go mode Mire, so that feels bad. But luckily, it was the very next chest, so.
Yeah, you could say in more ways than one, it was a god mire.
Yeah, very, very appreciative of that Mire, that's for sure.
Short of it being double dip, of course.
Would have been nice if I could have gotten the spooky. Nothing that I did after I got the boots, execution-wise, was very good. It was kind of a tale of two seeds. My execution was fine right up until the moment I hit go mode, and then I guess, I don't know, you're thinking about, I get to go mode 3 dungeons and then go up to GT, I'm going to have a pretty good time in this seed, and everything. I probably lost I'd say at least a minute from where I would have liked to be. As far as just that terrible Argus fight and everything that happened in Ice Palace. It's so hard to do the Ice Palace bomb jump. When I fall the first time, I have to line it up with this sprite. Like, I'm used to the vanilla sprite for doing that bomb jump, so I got to get out of my own head on that one. But yeah, I mean, I can't complain. If I lost a minute in execution at the end, the route paid off well enough so that I guess I was far enough ahead where it didn't matter.
Yeah, to lose a minute on a sub 130 seed, I'd say that's small potatoes.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, absolutely. I would agree, and that's coming from somebody who's come close to 130 a few times, but still knocking on that door. But, well, tonight I felt like commentary, so there you go.
Yeah, this was a seed. I mean, it certainly wasn't fast for most of it. I mean, a lot of slow overworld walking. But basically, if you knew where the cane was, and thankfully I knew where the cane was, because I could see some people maybe not looking at the island. And if you didn't know where the cane was, you might be in for a lot more checks in this seed. So thankfully I knew where the cane was, which meant it was basically go mode flippers, which means I don't have to do any checks in swamp. I don't have to do any checks in ice. We basically couldn't enter T-Rock because it was go mode flippers to cane, so you couldn't even really get in T-Rock at any point. That's a lot of dungeons right off the table. That's a lot of time you're going to save and made the sub 130 possible for sure.
Well, if you were like Raylan and didn't see the island right away, you would have been rewarded a bit, because that's where the last sword and the silvers.
Ah, well, silvers would have been nice. I actually could have checked maybe 1 or 2 extra chests in GT, but there were so many chests at that point that I hadn't opened. And he did. Gannon did tell me that they were in swamp.
Yeah, I had noticed that you ignored the Helmasaur room, but opted for the bubble room and the Moldworm chest.
Yeah, those two were right in the way. I mean, maybe if I'm going to open those last two, maybe I should open the Helmasaur ones too. But I didn't expect to find anything. Not that I needed anything either, but I didn't expect to find anything. With all the chests that I'd left out in the world, all the chests that are in T-Rock that I didn't touch, Ice Palace, Swamp Palace, the chests in Hera, it was pretty unlikely that the silvers were going to be right there. No, especially after basically full clearing GT. It was almost the last chest in GT for the big key anyway. So, yeah, chances were the silvers were going to be elsewhere.
So, I hadn't noticed this. I didn't notice this until a bit later. But you tried to put off villages for as long as you could. How come?
The route was, I've never really routed it that way. I'll be totally honest. I came up from the south with no mitts, and my plan was, okay, let's flute over to the village and let's go do Thieves and Village of Outcast and all that. And as I was kind of portaling in, I said, I probably should check Skullwoods. It's going to be quick enough. And mitts were in there, which just gave me a bunch of different options. So I did like half of the village and then picked up the smith and went and did the purple chest stuff. And I got fire rod while I was doing that. So I went off to finish desert, and I think I had the bow, and I hadn't gone over to the bow dungeons because I didn't want to do them completely in the dark with my loadout. But then I got the fire rod, so I said, okay, let's go do the bow dungeons. It just kind of like one thing just kept opening up that I felt like, okay, we'll just delay a little bit longer. Okay, we'll just delay a little bit longer. And it took forever to get over to Village and Thieves. So I was very happy when there was basically nothing in Thieves Town because I kind of was holding my breath on that one.
And we are now joined by Cobra, who has finished this race second of our 4 on the restream. 5th place overall, with a 1:30.55, beating 6th place by 7 seconds. GG.
Hey, thanks, GG.
Yo, Korak, GG, man.
Yeah, last location in the boots is not fun. But, you know, after that, I think I did all right. So
Seems to be a lot of that going around lately, huh?
Yeah, that was the bottleneck.
So, last location aside, how did you feel about the seat?
Man, it really didn't play to my route because once I got to Kakariko, well, I got to Kakariko and I got the that had the hammer already, so I got the pearl. I'm like, nice, that's gonna be tough for people to get back to. And then the flute showed up, and it's like, well, all right. And well, I did that whole dark escape thing. That didn't really do anything for me either. So. So I kind of felt behind the whole time, and once I found boots, I'm just like, well, just got to go because I'm playing catch up right now.
Meanwhile, we see GFE making his way up to the gauntlet.
It's also worth noting that going back to heading into pod, that was pretty lucky that the lamp happened to be there. How were you all feeling when you saw that?
I was a little annoyed at the lamp since I knowingly put off pod and Eastern for a little bit without the fire source. I just didn't want any disasters in the dark. And so to have the lamp just be there kind of was like, all right, well, now if boots are in here, I'm going to feel pretty silly for putting them off for a little bit. But I don't think there was anything else in either dungeon except the lamp, unless I'm misremembering.
I think Quake was on somewhere.
Oh yeah, Quake was on Armos. Yep, you're right.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel okay with. I mean, if my dark escape, like, I'm comfortable with dark rooms, so I don't know. I got a bottle. I got the blue goo before I went there, but I went there really early. I went there before VOO and Skull Woods, so that was a pretty early play for me. But I was confident.
I actually skipped the dark escape chest and was so worried about it that I got the hook shot earlier than I normally would have because I was just going to combo that with the dark escape check. So I got kind of lucky in this run.
Oh, that makes sense. I think I had Hera and Pyramid and Catfish left, something like that. But I did Hera anyway before going to Meyer, so all right.
I actually walked all the way from Hookshot Cave to the entrance to Hera and then remembered that it was basement locked. So I said, we're just going to roll the dice on Meyer. So again, it was like, it's like the little decisions that are right on the edge that can just be like, nope, you just cost yourself 4 minutes, or nope, you just saved yourself 4 minutes. And sometimes it's totally out of your control.
Luckily enough, it came out 7 and not Snake Eyes.
Yeah, and sometimes, hey, earlier today, there was a seed where it definitely was the complete opposite for me. So you never know.
So were the silvers completely free in swamp, or were they hidden away?
Waterfall chests, from what I heard.
All right, I'm fine with that. If they were in the push block, I might have been a little salty, but nah, that's fine.
Pretty good collection rate on your end, Dwayne.
Yeah, I mean, didn't open a single chest in Swamp or Ice. Opened the minimum in Mire. And I don't think I left any Overworld. I guess a lot of... It's weird because it's 136 with a ton of chests opened in GT. I only didn't open, what, three chests? 4 chests, I guess, in GT. So, yeah, just a slow Overworld. And that's really the piece of the seed that took a long time was just how much you had to walk around the Overworld, and you're not doing a lot of checks in that time. So if it had been a fast big key, you're looking at low 120s or something like that.
Maybe even the high 110s.
Yeah, if it had been super early big key, very, very possible. It just the way it worked out was there weren't too many checks you could make unless you missed Kane. I mean, like Korik was saying, he last location boots and still almost got the sub 130. So there were not very many ways to really position yourself into making a ton of extra checks, unless I think if you missed Kane, which some people probably did, because that can be a tricky, with really late flippers, that can be a tricky spot to check. So I'm sure some people in the race did it. It's happened to everybody. But the rest of the seed kind of prevented you from making any critical errors. Yeah,
for me, I actually didn't have the island scouted out, so I did the boots checks after getting boots, and then because of what you said, like there are those locations that are flipper locked that people might have checked early. So I that's why I picked ice over swamp, because if those early flipper checks actually had the Kane, I was just going to be wasting a lot of time. So I wanted to get those out of the way first and then go into ice. And well, there it was. So that was pretty nice.
GFE just about to enter his Ganon fight.
I gotta actually turn in, guys. But thanks for the interview, GG Korik. Good talking to you guys, and have a good rest of your night. Thanks everybody for watching.
No problem. Wayne, everybody, give him a follow.
Absolutely, GG, Blaine. Well done.
Hey, thanks. Have a good one, guys.
GFE now on to phase 3.
And Ganon is doing a lot of teleporting around. Tank here, opting to wait for the torch to go out to restart this 5th floor torch room, which can be a tricky one.
I don't know if I kind of agree with that strat. If you're off sync with the torches, the strategy I would do is exit the room to reset everything and then go back in.
So the one question I had is, did anybody skip Fire Rod? Because I'm pretty sure it was possible.
Not among you guys.
No, all 4 of you got it. It's possible that some of the non-restreamed racers missed it altogether. But either way, get your GGs in chat for TFE12. He has finished 3rd amongst our 4 featured runners. And 9th place overall with an official time of 1:39:01.
Yeah, all things considered, it is entirely possible that you didn't need the Fire Rod completely.
Yep, this was that rare Fire Rod not required, but very helpful seed.
All right, guys, I'm just going to step away, but thanks for the commentary restream, and have a great night.
No problem. Korik, everybody.
Yep. Have a good night. And now we watch Raylan wrap up their climb.
But in the meantime, we now have GFE joining us. GFE, well done.
Thanks, guys.
GG.
Yeah, GG's to Blaine. I know what he didn't do.
So, how do you feel about it, mistakes aside?
I mean, it had potential to be a very jet seed. Since I went to the digging game direction right after Dark World bow, that just kind of sealed it for me. If I didn't have flute pod that way, it'd be a different story.
Well, to still get a top 10 time, that's not terrible.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It just feels bad when you last location the item that locks 3 other items behind it.
But what it really came down to amongst the 4 featured runners is that Blaine made the right turn first. It all came down to just Rando being Rando. That's the way I look at it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if you go up toward Pyramid, your first time in Dark World after Hype Cave, then GG right there. I mean, everything else is just kind of in your way. I mean, it was a good seed. That just, it hurts to leave something in the open like that.
Sometimes you'll have seeds like those, and other times you'll just know what's going on right off the bat.
I mean, the funny thing about it is, when I found that bow, it would lead to something. So when I found the Quake medallion behind Armos Knights was Quake, I really thought Meyer was important, but... And of course, that ends up being where the boots were. That blocked the cane.
Nice double by Raylan, and he knocks out Ganon.
We've got our last batch of bacon, folks, so one more time, get your GGs in chat for Raylan, who has wrapped up the restream portion of our race with an official time of 1:42.51, and that is a new race PB.
Yeah, good job. We'll see if he'll join us in a second. So, I honestly wish I had a question to ask here. I feel guilty for not.
Well, I mean, there was one very nice thing that Seed did for me. There was only one chest I was going to check in the whole game, and that was the Swamp Waterfall room. So that felt good when I found silvers there.
Yeah, you weren't the only one, actually. Raylan, who's now joining us, checked that chest as well.
And speaking of, we are now joined by Raylan. GG, and congrats on the new PB.
GG, though the PB on the chat, on Race chat, is a bit misleading.
A bit misleading.
Yeah, my actual open PB was on 144, just not on Speed Gaming Race. Or SRL Race, for that.
Well, regardless, you put up a good time.
Sure. Could have been better, though. I really should have checked Lake Hydia Island way earlier to at least know what's there.
Yeah, we noticed that after you finished off Swamp Palace that you went back in for the big chest there.
Yeah, it was... I didn't know where the Cane of Samari was at that point in time, and the last time I skipped left side, I left said Cane there, so I didn't want to get burned a second time on screen for exactly that.
But you ended up last locationing anyway. I totally understand that.
Yeah,
It happens. That's the nature of rando, right?
right. Led me though to the Silver Stowe because maybe I would have checked that anyway, but full cleared swamp because of it. Yeah. Eh.
But are you satisfied? Were you satisfied with the seed in general, despite those falters?
I mean, yeah, it was. Actually, I did it pretty well in the early game. I felt like it. So found the hammer before I went up to Hera. So could have went eastern side a bit earlier than I would usually have. Skipped eastern in the early game. So it went too good for my feeling. I was already asking myself, okay, what is trolling me this time?
Turns out you were trolling yourself.
As always.
Hey, it happens. There are times where I've kicked myself in the rear after a seed because I knew I could have done something much different and didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't have double dipped Meyer. I would have collected the cane, went into Meyer, got the boots. Yeah.
So, any final thoughts from either of you?
I'll just give a quick shout out to you guys. Thanks for the commentary. Thanks to the trackers of this as well, and always to the Speed Gaming crew. Really appreciate everything everybody puts into this. And I'll see y'all next rando.
Well said.
Agreed. GG to all you guys.
Anything else from you, Raylan?
No, it was a nice race. Had fun, and GG's to all the other runners.
Well, all right then. And with that said, I think that's gonna do it for us, because we don't have much else going on right here, don't we?
Well, for tonight on Speed Gaming 3, the only thing that's going is the combo rando on hard logic for this particular Monday. And then things pick up again at 2 o'clock with the 2 o'clock daily race going for timed one-hit KO. Good luck to those who enter that. I do not feel confident enough to enter that mode just yet. There's also it's brutal. Amongst the other stuff going tomorrow that I see on the schedule, Super Mario RPG, Zelda 1 having a multi-category qualifier, which that sounds interesting in itself. FF1 Rando Spring, as well as a link to the past randomizer daily races, spoiler log, and league action, plus the Rando weekly race of Zelda 2, as well as some late night Pac-Man World 2 action. So there is a day of action planned tomorrow for Speed Gaming, with the vast majority of those networks, other than Super Mario RPG being on Speed Gaming main from 7 to 11, everything else is up in the air.
Well, with all that said, I think it's about time we say goodbye. On behalf of all of our runners, Dwayne, Korek, Raylan, Tankier, and GFE12, along with our trackers, Red, Aramer, and Voosh, my name is The Crazy.
And I'm Leslie Pro 4. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you next race.
Bye, everybody!